Hi there. You're right between the our microphones. I am DJ Adam here with Flynnderella herself.
Hi guys.
Hey, you can't see the teddy bears.
Oh.
You can see the soft. Oh, well, there you go. Now you can see the teddy bears.
Yes.
So now you know the softer side of DJ Adam here. So we're waiting for folks to come on in.
Yeah, this song is actually the lyrics that I have tattooed on me. I did post it on my Facebook that we were going live.
Well, let's give folks some time to join us here. Boy, that 3 songs went really quick, too.
Well, I wasn't sure. I picked some songs that were super short, so.
8.
It was so weird to see me actually live on another page while I'm doing this. That's crazy.
Oh, we've got one person, and oh, that was you.
That was me. Was it me?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. I'm sharing it. So. Oh, it's kind of delayed almost. It's
Well, that's all right.
That's weird.
If you listen to the radio, if you listen to to us in the headphones and then listen to the radio, there's a 30-second delay.
See, my GoPro has that. It's kind of creepy.
The one time I did that, when I was learning how to do all this, I was doing another show with other DJs on New Regal, and we were talking, and I'm listening to the music in my headphone, kind of, but I was actually listening to the speaker, so I was listening to the delayed, and I'm sitting there at the board, and I'm like, all of a sudden I hear silence in my headphones, and I'm like, just kind of, we're talking along, and I'm like,
wait a minute.
I think we're supposed to be on, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hi, everybody out there in Facebook land. Give a shout out to with your name, where you're watching from.
Yeah, sure.
So we know who is with us, and so show folks your phone case
phone
here,
case.
because this is as Agent A put it, this is cute.
Yes. This is cute, apparently. Most of the time I get that's disgusting, that's creepy, ew, it's staring at me.
Well, it is original.
Yes.
We'll say it is original. Yes. You're not going to find that in stores.
No. Handcrafted, handmade. I have a few that I'm going to be making here over the next couple of days now that I'm off school. So we'll definitely post some of those.
So if folks want to, they would go over to Makeup by Flynnderella to, if they wanted to get you to make something for them?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I have the messenger set up. I do have I have a different phone number. Obviously, I don't like to give out my actual phone number. I actually have a different phone number that is strictly business. So if they click on the links on my Makeup by Flynnderella Facebook page, that's where they would find everything.
That's right. It is strictly business.
Strictly business.
No comments from folks, because I've seen some of the comments that you've posted on Facebook that you've gotten. So no
Good God.
No rude comments. Obviously, as a guy, I can't even. I have no idea what that is like to get. I don't know why, with all this hunkiness, why I haven't ever gotten anything like that before. So if you do want to stalk me on Facebook, go ahead. It's all right.
It's up there.
But yeah, I don't even. I can't even. For that matter, I don't even know why.
I don't even know why people think it's okay to even remotely speak to people like that. Men and women don't deserve to be spoken to like that.
So we're gonna go live here again. New Regal Radio. I am DJ Adam, and you are in Lurch's Lair. And actually, the Lair, if you want to join us in the Lair, go over to the Lair Facebook page, and we're broadcasting live on, and see, I'm doing it. I'm doing the hand thing here.
See, you know what? You didn't keep yourself from doing it.
We are broadcasting live on the Lurch's Lair Facebook page, so come on over and join us. We got some folks over there right now. Thank you for joining us here in the Lair. So this song right before we came back here, that was The Word Alive with the song Life Cycles. Right before that, we had Palisades with their song Outcast, and this song The Word Alive. You said it's got a special place for you.
Yes, Life Cycles. I actually have their lyrics tattooed on my body. The one lyric, it says, "I would rather die for what I believe than live a life without reason." So that I basically have that tattooed right here. And it's actually kind of small, so some people are just like, what does it say? And it's kind of just for me, kind of just like a reminder, like, you know, that I'm always going to be different. I'm always going to, you know, basically be myself, and I'm never gonna change. So, which is good.
Very good. Always be yourself. Now the band Palisades, they are actually going to be with our guests next week. They're going to be doing some shows with them down in Baltimore. So go check out the I almost said the Lurch's Lair Facebook page. Go over and check the Ignite the Fire page out for their dates. I think it's December 21st. I think they're doing a date with Palisades. So go check that out. Over in the chat room, Kevin, Lurch is awesome, great, awesome support for us indie artists. Thank you very much, Kevin. We do what we can here in the Lair to help out all artists here, not just musical, but artistic as well. So thank you for that. We do try our best. It is, it is literally why I started the show.
Yeah.
I know people ask why. I had the question last week. Why Lurch's Lair? Where does it come from? Well, and oddly, it comes from where we used to work together. A coworker of mine named me. It was the nickname he gave me, Lurch.
You know what? That's when you started this whole thing. I just realized, I was like, you know what? I do seem to remember somebody calling you that.
But I couldn't use it on the radio. There's actually already a DJ Lurch. So I could not use it on the radio. Of course, Adam fits right in it, but and it has a double meaning. The man that I call my dad is actually my stepfather. His last name was Adams. But we always called him Adam.
Yeah.
So it has a double meaning for me. And I proudly use that name to honor him. So, yes, Lurch's Lair. The Lair part came from a friend that worked. He started his show here on New Rigel Radio 4 years ago. And I never listened to independent music before.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people kind of, oh, well, I've never heard those bands before. And I had a little bit of that. But he turned me on to this music, this music in the independent scene. And you know what? A lot of this music is not just the same cookie cutter stuff you get to hear on like FM radio.
I can't even listen to FM radio anymore.
You know what? I don't listen to FM radio anymore.
My phone died the other night on my way home from school, and I almost cried because I had to actually listen to the radio.
There are times that I forgot to, I forgot to put something in the truck for me to listen to, and I've had to listen to FM radio, or if I'm at a doctor's office and they have it on, and it's like, oh, I can give you so much better in music than this.
Yeah.
And, like I say, he got me into it, and then slowly, little by little, I can tell you there was never a time I ever thought I would be doing this.
I mean, what I'm doing now is with my makeup and my art, like, I never really actually thought that I was going to even remotely be doing what I'm doing now, like, with everything.
So, I actually went on his show. They actually got me to go on the show.
Yeah.
And what started it, I actually suggested one time he used to do live shows. Him and his co-host did live shows. And the one live show, they were like, give us some ideas for the last hour. There was a 3-hour show. They're like, give us some ideas for the last hour. We need some requests. So after that, I said to him, I said, do you want me to come up with like a playlist, of songs for you for like your 3rd hour when you do these live shows? And he said, sure.
Yeah.
So I came up, and I was using Lurch then because I wasn't part of the show. I was just Lurch. So I showed up and I said, "Oh, here's my playlist, and here's the songs if the ones you don't have." He just looks at it and goes, "Okay, that'll be good for when we'll put you on the 3rd hour." I said, "You
No.
what?"
I'm sorry, what?
He goes, no, you're gonna sit here in the 3rd hour, and you're going to do this.
And you're going to announce it, and you're going to talk.
And yes, and I did, and I was so nervous that first time. I did that 3 times for his show.
Oh, wow.
And then he said, went down for one of their shows one night, and we were sitting there after the show talking. And I had by then started the Lurch's Lair Facebook page. I had kind of just originally started that to see what independent bands
Would actually...
Yeah, we put them out there, see what got got hits, and then they were going to use them. But he said to me, he goes, you're picking a lot of great music here. You're picking a lot of great bands. You're finding this music. He goes, you could do your own show. And I'm like, huh?
What?
But that's what got me thinking. And the next day, I got up in the morning because, of course, it was after midnight when I got home. So Mrs. Lurch over there was asleep, and I said, hey, Rich thinks maybe I could do my own show. I've been thinking, I'm thinking about it, and the looks I got from saying, hey, it doesn't matter. The looks when I said, hey, I think I'm going to do a radio show, and the people that know me were like, what? It was just like, you're what? But I had such a blast doing this.
You know what? When I started doing makeup and doing special effects on people, I actually would ask them not to tag me in stuff because I was super self-conscious about the outcome of it and just the finished product. So I just would be like, don't worry about tagging me in it. I'm not worried about it, blah, blah, blah. But then when I started to actually post some of the stuff, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, people were just like, where did this come from? Why you all of a sudden know how to do this stuff? It's like, no, I'm super self-taught. Books, YouTube, lots of YouTube. And just figuring stuff out on my own. Just taking advice from different makeup artists. I have a few makeup artists. I'm actually friends with Nicole Chalali. She won Face Off Season 3 on the Sci-Fi Channel. She's made me a phone case. She's helped me a lot with the questions that I have. And she actually does take the time to message you back when you have a question. I recreated one of her looks the one time and she reposted it and all kinds of stuff. I actually have a really good friend. His name is Nate, and he lives in Oklahoma. And he's a huge special effects person out there. And hopefully next month I get to go and visit him. And he is a no-holds-barred type of person. If he feels like I didn't do a good enough job, or if he feels like I should have did something different, he is not afraid to hurt my feelings, and I need that, with that. And I love him to death. He helps me so much. If I have something going and I'm just I can't get this right, I can't get the consistency of this mixture right, or anything like that, he's right there, giving me suggestions. So it's actually really good to have that kind of support with everything.
That's good to have. Rich and Jamie, they're that for me. They do that for me as well. So that's it's always good to have that kind of support to help you out. So what do we have up here next? We've got some Red here. The song is called "Breathe Into Me." You're in Lurch's Lair. You're on New Regal Radio. And I better put some more music in here, or we're going to have some dead space. Dead air is bad in radio.
Yes.
Oops.
Dom said, I said, I'm on the same radio show you guys were on. He's like, ah, very nice. For your makeup, I'm assuming?
Okay, so there's that and 12.
I said, yeah, yuppers. I was like, I sound horrible singing.
Well, you can't sound any horrible than me.
I like your voice.
I mean, my niece caught me, most of the time when I sing in the car, like, most of the time it's, like, real quiet and everything, but then she is super on her Snapchat and everything, and she was recording me, and I was singing that Linkin Park song, that new one that he came out with that one chick. I forget, but it's a duet or whatever. And I was singing it pretty loudly, and she just looked at me and she was like, "You actually sing really good, Dee Dee," and everything. And I'm like, "Were you just recording me?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Stop it."
She's a cutie pie, though.
Yeah, I was like, "Stop." She does everything. Oh, Hoppy. That's my friend. She used to work with me.
Hi.
At the warehouse. And now she went over. I think she went to Mars. You went to Mars, right? I forget.
That's a long drive.
Mars? Yes. Venus is further.
Yes, it is. But not as far as Uranus.
Oh,
Come on. If
was funny.
if you're doing planets, you've got to use that joke.
Yes, you have to. What did Kyle ask?
When we were going live.
When we were going live. Okay.
So yes, and right before we, right at the break there, I said you shouldn't make comments to women, gross comments to women. What did I do? Yeah.
He said Uranus.
I smacked myself. So, what else you got going on?
Just, I randomly get messaged, like, just boom, like this whole Krampus thing that I'm doing this next weekend. Last year, there was I do photo shoots, and it's usually a group shoot at this one studio, and it's called Omni Lens Studios in Ephrata, and he does a lot of group shoots, and he hires me to come in there and do hair and makeup for people, and I basically sit there a lot. Sometimes I model, sometimes I don't. It just really depends on my mood. Last year, the couple that was supposed to come as, like, Krampus and stuff like that, and apparently he had, like, a legit mask that was Krampus. And, excuse me, last minute, like, 2 nights before, they canceled. And he messaged me, and he was like, "Can you make Krampus happen? Like, make something happen." And I did, but I just didn't like the way that it turned out. I mean, everybody was impressed, like, with what I did. And I'm like, okay, but this is David. But this year he messaged me and he said, "We want to make Krampus happen again." I said, "Well, when?" And he was like, "Oh, the 16th. I'm like, "Oh, thank God." So I've been like, I molded it from my my Monster Clay. Monster Clay is awesome to mold with. Unfortunately, you have to keep heating it up to mold it more, but it never dries. Nothing. Like, it's super awesome, and you can just heat it up, take it off the cast, and put it back in the jar. And then I was like, all right, so I created this whole, like, creation of clay, and then I finally put the latex on it, and I didn't want it to have that smooth texture of a mask. I wanted it to be gross because Krampus is kind of like a demon. So I wanted to have that gross, you know, texture and everything. And I really didn't feel like doing it the day of the makeup application. So I was like, I'm just going to do this. So a little backyard budget for all you guys out there is liquid latex mixture with your baking flour. Any flour that you can find in your kitchen, you mix it in there, and then you just slap it on there and kind of move it around and, you know, make sure that it gets in there pretty good. And obviously you don't want it just to be a big old blob of mess. And it creates that nasty skin texture. And it's crazy, like, how it turned out. I'm actually super excited, like, that it actually all came off in one piece, for one. And the teeth came out, and I have to finish the horns tomorrow, and I still have to make the long, like, gross tongue thing that he has, like, hanging out. But I'm, like, super excited that I actually had time to come up with something decent for this. And I'm like, I think this will be my last makeup of the year, so I gotta go out with a bang with that. So I'm super excited.
Nice.
I love hearing David in my headphones. It's so awesome.
Yes, you were telling us, you know, the band here, the Carousel Kings.
Yes, Carousel Kings. His name's David, the lead singer. He's the only one that I know anymore. All the other guys are from surrounding area. I think, like, one lives in North Carolina, one lives in, like, Virginia or something like that. But they're actually on tour right now. I think the last time I talked to him, he's in Wisconsin right now. So.
Ooh, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. So.
I wonder if they're getting snow.
Ugh.
I have a friend in Texas. They got snow in Austin, Texas yesterday.
What?
Apparently.
Texas?
Yes, Texas. Austin. What is going on? Apparently it was snowing in Atlanta, Georgia today as well. And I'm like, hold on here a second. Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. We are in Pennsylvania in winter. There is not a snowflake around.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking a selfie. Wait. Oh, jeez. I'm hitting shit. For our Snapchat. And now you guys got a nice little close-up of my phone. Again. Yes.
I'm finally on Snapchat.
Oh, yeah? Snapchat is fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I might be a little bit older, but I'm like,
It had to be on your Snapchat though. I'm not actually on Snapchat.
Oh, you're not?
Just because of your picture. That's the first time I've ever been on.
This guy over here.
It's funny. I am a tech geek. I mean, even my job now is kind of techie, and you know, people are like, "Oh, Snapchat or this or that," and I'm like, "What's that?"
What is this? Another way of social media.
I just got Skype.
You know what? I used to use Skype, but now that Facebook has, you know, video chat on the Messenger, like, that's how I talked to my friend Nate, like, in Oklahoma. Like, he's in Oklahoma, so it's still sunny over there when I was driving over here, and he just happened to call me while I was driving over here, and he's like, "Why is it so dark? Where are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm outside driving." And he was like, "My bad, I will let you drive." But it was all nice and sunny, like, where he was. I'm like, it's all nice and sunny, like, and I'm over here in the cold, and it's like nighttime already. I hate the time change. It sucks.
I know. You go to work, it's dark. You come home, it's dark.
I know. I wake up and I'm outside, and I'm just like, ugh. I know I freak out some people though with my remote start, because
So do we.
Yeah.
She just got one of those. Mrs. Lurch over there just got a car with a remote start.
August.
Mine got installed in March. That was my last birthday present from the ex-husband.
I got a new Jeep in August. I had a compact car until then.
Yeah.
Seeing him in a compact car, knees up to the chest.
Yeah.
We took it
Good
to work
God.
every day because it got twice as much gas to the gallon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was a Chevy Cobalt.
Good God, man. Like.
Tell me about it.
Adam's knees were in my chest and the back.
Oh my God.
Tell me about it, because Adam, Agent A, is almost as tall as Mrs. Lurch is, and
He's gotten so big.
yes, he has, and unfortunately, so has his attitude a little.
Oh boy, yes.
Yes, he's got
Yes, comes with age.
he is definitely pre-teening.
Madeline started that years ago, and she's only 11.
DJ Adam came upstairs to me yelling at Agent A yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I come up the steps and I hear this. I'm like, oh no, this can't be good. What's going on?
I mean, I Snapchatted my niece like the one night, and I get a Snapchat back from my sister saying this Snapchat has been officially confiscated from by, you know, and I was just like, I was like, all right. Okay. Like my sister's Snapchatting me, letting me know that my niece is not on Snapchat right now.
Okay, thanks.
I was like, okay, thanks.
Yes, pretty much. When we went to look for a new car, because I'm 6'7", 6'8", depending on who's measuring me at the time.
Yes.
And when I got a haircut too, that played into it a little too. Oh, we're going back live here. New Regal Radio. I'm DJ Adam, and you are in Lurch's Lair. That right there was the band Secrets with their song Genesis. Right before that, we had the Carousel Kings with their song Bad Habit. So, and that's the list you provided us, and there were some really good songs there. Thank you very much for coming up with that for us.
Thank you.
So, you said we were talking over here on Facebook Live. You actually know the lead singer for the Carousel Kings.
I do, David. He goes by David Alexander. I met him like 10 years ago when he was starting out. Like, I think he was like 17 years old, and he used to hang out at a party house when I used to stunt ride motorcycles. And I met him, and we became good friends, and I actually did his hair right before he came home from Japan, because he was touring in Japan. He came home to Lancaster City and needed me to do his hair before Warped Tour. And I was super stoked that he asked me to do that, because obviously I'm still in school, so he's trusting me with this. And yeah, now we're in the talks of working further on some new stuff for he works at a spa in Westchester, and I may end up doing a commercial for the spa.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that. And if you ever get the chance to do a salt float, which is what this spa actually specializes in, where they put 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in about 10 inches of water. I did a 90-minute float, and it was amazing. It
would have to be a lot of salt to float this body. If I'm going into the water, it kind of looks like the Titanic's just.
Oh boy.
Hey, you know what? The sign on the shop says "Big and Tall." I am big and tall.
Okay.
I go ahead and I cover both angles right there.
Oh my.
That's right.
I do look somewhat like a hobbit next to Adam over here.
Well, you know what? If it makes you feel any better, so do a lot of people.
I'm only 5 foot, so it's like, basically, if he would ever give me a hug, he'd be hugging my head, like, or picking me up, like, hey.
Oddly enough, my grandmother was 4'11".
Good God.
So I have practice at hugging short people.
Just get down on another level.
That is exactly right. And by the way, public service announcement for all you short people out there: do not go up to a tall person and go, "Oh my God, how tall are you?" Trust me, we hear it all the time.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Yeah, my friend Jay at work calls me a hobbit. But he's like almost as tall as like he's a little bit taller than me, but he thinks it's hilarious. So, shout out to Jay. You're kind of a dickhead, but I love you.
Hey, don't make fun of hobbits, because you know what? They save the world.
Yes. We have the ring.
That's what it's in the volcano now because of the hobbits. That's right. Don't make fun of hobbits. Anyway, we got about a little more than 20 minutes here, so I'm on a couple more songs here. This one, we talked about them earlier. Yes, they are coming up next Friday, and literally they are coming up. They are coming up from Taneytown, Maryland to be with us next Friday as we do our 3-hour show, which, by the way, 3 hours. We're starting at 6 o'clock next week. We'll go from 6 to 9. next Friday night for a 3-hour show. This one is off their EP Trial and Triumph. This is the song Criticized. This is an incredible song. It is actually one that a lot of times in the morning I sit at my desk and I'm like, I'm really not feeling this right now. I will put this song on and it will get me going. So take a listen to this song right here. You're in Lurch's Lair. You're on New Regal Radio.
So these are the guys that are coming in on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's their name again in the news?
Ignite the Fire.
Ignite. What did I get? I don't even know what came out of my mouth. Oh, Dawn liked them. Okay.
They played with them, and Red Hymns was that was the first show I went to as DJ Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, those are great guys too. Behind the Gray.
Oh, who's this guy?
Yeah, that night we went to see them. We're there.
Oh.
He's not getting a hotel, driving home.
That would be
He's
Jack.
sprint.
That's Mark.
That's Mark?
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. Hi.
So Ignite the Fire. If you're watching Mark,
How you doing?
Well, he will be here next week.
I'll totally fangirl. I'll be like,
Mark, just so you know, the girl in the corner, she's not necessarily stalking you.
she just happened to show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, she got confused. She thought it was a 2-week
Yeah,
thing.
she thought she was coming on for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you're fine.
so...
Come back and meet the guys. They're a great group.
Where are they from? Are they from Maryland?
They're from Maryland, yeah.
Okay. That's not too far.
That's what he said.
Stalker
coming home from
status!
Spain.
Hey, Aunt Deb. That's my aunt right there. My Aunt
Oh.
Deborah.
Hi, Aunt. That's one thing as a parent I found. I'm no longer me. I'm somebody's
Yeah.
dad.
And you know what? I'm Dee Dee. Like, my niece and nephew call me Aunt Dee Dee. And, my dad thought, like, and it wasn't really done on purpose. Like, the kids just started calling me Dee Dee. And my dad actually had an Aunt Dee Dee. Or no, I think it was his, oh God, I'm probably wrong and he's probably going to kill me. I think it was his grandmother. I think it was his grandmother. And he used to call her Dee Dee. So it was like crazy and everything. Because when my parents met, they met, and 3 months later they were married. Almost 40 years later, they're still married, which is crazy these days. Anyway, I mean, hello, I'm newly divorced, but they clicked, I guess. But just when they had me, I think they were married for about 1.5 years before I came along. And my grandfather, my dad's father, he was just like, I am way too young to be a grandpa right now and everything. So we don't call him grandpa. We actually call him Boo, which is so, some of the girls would be like, I'm about to call my boo, blah, blah, blah. So, like, when I'm on the phone and, like, I'm recently, like, I'm dating somebody, I'll be like, look, if you ever hear me call somebody Boo, like my grandfather, I'll be like, that's my grandfather. We call him Boo. And everything, like, literally, B-O-O, like Boo. And he's Pappy Boo to my niece and nephew, which is crazy. So, because my dad is Pappy, but then there's Pappy Boo. So.
This is another song here I like.
Like,
If you can see the name of the song.
Like a Storm? Is it the Like a Storm?
Like the Storm's the band.
Okay, and Love the Way You Hate Me.
Yes. So I'm a big fan of this song too.
Okay. I might have to go out to all my haters. Apparently I have a big hater at work right now.
Uh-oh.
How you doing? Hope you're watching.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, like I said. Everybody's got their opinion, and like I said, I'm sarcastic and I'm an asshole, and I'm not going to change for anybody, and if you don't like my tea, then you can go drink coffee. Bye.
Coffee?
I love coffee. I'm sorry.
I'm a coffee snob.
Yes. I did not really drink coffee before, Mrs. Lurch.
I need it because I'm old.
He would drink Folgers.
Oh, my Lanta.
If I drank it, yes.
Whew.
I don't know. I can't really say I mean, yes, I do drink Starbucks, but every morning...
it's right in the building. Like,
I'm
that is one thing that...
Michael's is not Starbucks.
Well,
I mean,
they use them.
He uses them, but yeah, I get it.
I mean, I go down to the cafeteria and just get the regular...
I used to when I'd be like, yeah, I don't have money for Michael's today. We're just going to get whatever they brewed today in the cafeteria.
The one thing that they do have down there that you could probably get it at an actual Starbucks if you told them what was in it is an iced black and white coffee. Where it's what is that? That's the dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate and white
chocolate
with espresso.
With espresso and milk.
And milk.
Oh, it's so good.
See, I turned my mom and my dad on to my dad likes chai latte, and I said, well, you don't always have to get like the chai. Like I said, you can get it flavored and everything. My mom was like, what? I said, I get raspberry chai latte. I said at Michael's, and my mom was like, raspberry? Your dad loves raspberry. So we got him raspberry, and he tasted it, and he was like, this is wonderful. What is this? And I was like, it's a raspberry chai latte. And my dad was like, this is fantastic. We're like, yes. And everything. So now, like, I'm like, Mom, you can ask them to put flavors, like, in your stuff. Like, Madeline, she's 11. She goes to Starbucks. We're just like, she's like, yeah, I want a blah, blah, blah. And we're like, decaf. Like, she's already hyper. She's already crazy.
The one thing when I go to Starbucks, I don't... Small, medium, large. I don't go with that, you know.
Yes, I'd like a grande. Did you ever see that movie Role Models where he, like, flips out in Starbucks?
No.
She's like, do you mean a venti? He's like, I want a large. And she's like, do you want a venti? Like, is that what you want? He, like, freaks out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I usually don't even use the terminology, but the best part about Starbucks, giving them the most craziest name ever for them to have to shout out.
Ooh, I never thought of that. Well,
Yes.
at Michael's they don't shout it out, so, but regular Starbucks.
Last time I was at Starbucks, it was right before they closed, and I told them that my name was Peta from Hunger Games. But they didn't get it, and they didn't get the reference, and she spelled it wrong and said Beta with a B. And I was like, wow, you just killed my vibe. Like, you just totally ruined it for me. Just give them a crazy name, and they have to shout it out. And everything's like, yeah. I was like, it's Beta. And she was just like, she wrote it down. She's like, Beta? And I'm like, you ruined it.
I do that at work with music lyrics. I don't know what it is, but, you know, people will, you know, people say something, and it's like a music lyric comes to mind, and I'll say it, and some of them are old enough to understand, and some of them look at you like, huh?
Yeah, the old school. Nobody gets my reference either. The old school Star Trek. We're talking like old school.
Chat.
You mean the original?
The original. I grew up on that because of my father. And like, if I'm doing something super hardcore at work, I'll be like, I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. And everything. Everybody's like,
Right, Scotty.
yeah, like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, wow, okay, y'all are like 20. I'm like, you don't get it, never mind.
H&A likes Star Trek.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
I think he's getting more into Star Trek now that he's getting older. I came in with Next Generation.
Yes.
So that is my preference. And, of course, Netflix has Next Gen on it.
Okay.
So we've been kind of watching that, and he's huge into Star Wars.
Good.
And at first he didn't Star Trek didn't do much for him. And you know the difference. Star Wars is more action. Star Trek, not as much.
It's not as much. Especially, I'll tell you right now, I love watching the old school Star Trek, like the one with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and stuff like that, because the again, like with the special effects, like me watching for special effects, I love watching that. And like when they like go hit each other. Like, I'm just like, wow. Like, and just some of the creations and like the alien creations that they come up with, I'm just like, oh my god, this was like the 60s, 70s, you know, there. And I'm like, oh my god. Shout out to my dad though, because literally the Star Trek where, I don't mean to spoil it for anybody, but the one that actually Spock dies. My mom and my dad actually went to go see that movie in the movie theater, and my dad cried.
Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan?
Yes, and he died. And my mom did exactly what my ex-husband did to me last summer when I saw A Day to Remember live. She turned and looked at him and was like, "Are you crying?" And my dad was like, "Well, it's Spock, man. Like, you can't..." And I was like, oh god.
What is your view, since you're in the original series? What is your view of the reboot? Because I don't like the reboots.
The new movies?
Yes.
No, I don't like them. The
Christopher Pine ones.
No.
I do not like them. And the second one, when all of a sudden now it's Kirk dying because he's saving the...
I haven't even... I watched one. I think I watched maybe half of one, and I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't.
Well, the second one at the end is just basically a remake of Star Trek II.
Yeah.
Except instead of Spock saving the ship, it is Kirk saving the ship.
What? So they kill off, like, the main character?
And no, they don't.
Oh, okay.
He regenerates and he's fine. Because Khan...
All right, Hollywood.
Because Spock goes and he chases Khan all over over Starfleet in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And he gets Khan because Khan he's genetically altered and he can regenerate, so he can save the captain. And the climax to Kirk dying is Spock yelling Khan.
What? No, that's the most iconic scene from like the original Star Treks. Are we going live? Okay.
New Regal Radio. I'm DJ Adam, and you are in Lurch's Lair, and we are having over on Facebook Live. We are having a very heated discussion about Star Trek. I'm definitely a Star Trek The Next Generation. That's how I came on. Dawn, the original series, and we're talking about the new movies, the Christopher Pine movies, which Dawn hasn't seen past the first one.
No.
I'm just describing right now the second reboot movie where at the end of it, Spock is the one that, Kirk saves the ship. It's the reverse of Star Trek II. They totally ripped it off. And yes, it is Spock sitting outside yelling Khan.
No, you can't. No, you can't change it up. Like, that is the most iconic sci-fi like thing that just sticks in my brain. Like, I'll tell you right now, the first official horror movie that I remember ever watching with my dad, because my dad, basically in my interview for the magazine, my dad is a huge influence on like my sci-fi and creepy, crazy movie obsession. He just, like, the first movie I ever watched was Creature from the Black Lagoon. Like, hardcore, like black and white, creepy fish thing coming out of the whatever it is, the swamp or whatever. And it's just like, that was the thing. And then my dad was like huge into Star Trek, and that's, my dad can probably impersonate like the whole Khan thing, and it's just the fact that Spock is doing, don't get me wrong, Spock is Spock, and Spock will always have a place in my heart. But no, I don't like this. I'm not even gonna watch that one.
And it's of course it's not even Leonard Nimoy Spock doing it. It is Zachary Quinto that's doing it.
Yeah, no.
And
I cried when Leonard Nimoy died, because I feel like I grew up watching him like my dad did, because my dad turned me on to like Star Trek. So it was just like I was like, no, not Leonard Nimoy.
You know, I think I know you have William Shatner and he's Captain Kirk, but I think honestly, I think Spock and Leonard Nimoy was probably more iconic and definitely more beloved.
Yes.
Than William Shatner.
Yeah, I will have to say that. I think a lot of times, a lot of people loved Spock more, but I think some people could seriously relate to Spock because everybody can always feel like they're kind of an alien in some way, you know. I would love to have his abilities of no emotion whatsoever. That was my best William Shatner. Pausing all the time.
But he did have some emotion. He just bottled it up. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the best William Shatner.
Alrighty then. I did used to say that about my ex-husband. My ex-husband actually was a huge animal person, and I used to say that all the time. Like, I married Ace Ventura. Like, oh, like it was like we had animals and reptiles galore. It was ridiculous.
Oh, alrighty then. Take care now. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Ah, yes, I know, and people, anybody younger than like 30 is probably going, what?
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 Do you know that they made an Ace Ventura like with a child or something? Like I saw it on my Netflix the other day, and I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh God, stop it!" Like just let Jim Carrey have his moment with his Ace Ventura movies.
They're remaking Jumanji.
Oh God, stop it!
They
Oh
have.
yeah,
They have
isn't
already.
The Rock in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Dwayne Johnson or whatever.
That was Robin Williams. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
stop! Like no.
By the way, somebody told me today that they are remaking Beetlejuice.
No.
No.
Oh.
Well, that certainly got a reaction here in the Lair. Anybody else have an opinion on the remaking of Beetlejuice over there?
Oh, good God. No. Michael Keaton and Alec Baldwin. You know, no. Like, I can't. And, oh, God. I'm going to be so upset if they mess that up.
They will.
I
It's
can't.
Hollywood.
I can't deal. I'm done. Stop. Okay, newsflash. Hollywood, stop remaking the old movies and come up with your new ideas. Although...
I don't know how I feel about the live-action Aladdin with Will Smith being the genie.
Wait, what? I'm
Yeah.
Yes, they're making that now.
Yeah.
They're making a live Aladdin?
A live
Yes.
action Aladdin, yeah.
Like they did with the Brandy Cinderella and...
Yeah. We have Will Smith is the genie. Now, the one thing they said is this is not the Robin Williams animated version of Aladdin. They are going to make it more like the musical.
I
That's
can't...
still going to be hard to see him.
I can't see Will Smith in a musical.
Well, I don't think they're going to sing, but they're going to
No, I can't do it.
take. Well, he can sing.
Like that's you know. Do you
Like
ever watch
Fresh
his
Prince?
interviews? Like how he laughs and
As-
stuff. It's like why?
As long as he's
No.
got DJ Jazzy Jeff with him.
Hell yeah!
But yes,
Summertime, right there.
They are going. They're redoing that. They're making that right now.
No, I can't deal.
Well,
Like-
the thing is the cartoon, the actual movie, they wrote that specifically for Robin Williams.
Yes.
Because the first time they went to him and said, "Hey, asked him about it," he said no. And the guys that were going to do it were like, "Now what do we do? Because we literally wrote this specifically
Yeah,
for Robin Williams."
you to do it.
And then eventually, I guess he was doing a project, which is why he couldn't do it.
Wow.
And I
It was
guess
probably Mrs. Doubtfire.
by the
I
time,
think it was.
actually I do, yeah, I think it was. And by the time because they thought, oh, we're going to rewrite this entire script because no one else can pull this off.
Yeah.
So by the time they got back around to trying to pick somebody else,
He finally
could-
was like, you know what?
they
I'll do it.
they're like, you know what, let's go try Robin one more time because that's who we really want. And by that time he could do it.
Yeah.
And they said, and it really didn't matter that they wrote the script because he ad-libbed a lot of his stuff anyway.
He does all the time, and it was amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said earlier, I legit cried when Leonard Nimoy died. I legit cried when I found out that Robin Williams passed away. Like, I grew up watching him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mork and Mindy and, like, all this stuff. And then to see, like, my all-time favorite movie of him, I know everybody's probably favorite movie, is Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, him playing this old lady in this movie is just, like, crazy. And I do that, like, I actually imitate him, like, when I messed up, you know, God bless my sister. She let me play with her hair one time, and I messed it up. And, I basically, you know, I called her. I was like, "Help is on the way there," like, you know, because I was about to fix it. You know, I'm like, "Don't worry, I got you."
Actually,
So, you know,
my favorite movie of his, and I know it's strange because it's probably one that he played kind of the straight, not really necessarily comedy, was Dead Poet Society.
God.
Because I think that showed
Or Good Will Hunting.
I think that showed he just wasn't.
He wasn't just comedic.
He just wasn't the goofball.
Yeah. Well, he also did the same thing in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, I saw that one
Like,
too.
yeah.
Patch Adams, he did as well.
God. Oh, God.
The vagina.
Yeah.
Auditorium.
Well, we are almost out of time here for
Oh,
this evening.
yes.
Just 2 hours flies by really quick.
I know.
So I want to thank you for coming on and joining us here in studio.
Absolutely.
It's a first for us. And you always remember your first.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And I get the eye roll from over in the corner from Mrs. Lurch. But anyway, anything you want to say as we wind down here to the good folks listening?
Basically, I just appreciate everybody's support and love that I get on a daily basis with my art and my creations and my makeup. And everybody just be yourself, be creepy, and I love you all.
Be creepy.
Be creepy, kids.
Accept the messages. Keep the messages.
Yeah, no, stop. Don't. Yeah, let's not say that.
Oh, we got Jonathan over there who said, like, Good Morning Vietnam. That is right. That is also a great movie of his.
Yeah.
I, unfortunately, am not about to even try doing Good Morning Vietnam that he
God.
did.
I
But-
don't even think I could pull it off.
Yeah, that's a little much. But we are going to leave you with one more song here. This is Dollskin. The song here is called Shut Up, You Miss Me. Make sure you go over and check out Dawn's YouTube page. Go check out Makeup by Flynnderella on Facebook. Some incredible work out there. Go check it out and give it a like and share. Don't forget to share. That's what I preach here. The same thing with the bands. If you hear something, go like them, share them, and support them. That's my message for this evening. Now, we will be back Sunday at 6 p.m. We're going to have our independent music show then, so please come and join us. Until Sunday, everybody have a good weekend.
Oh, Neil. Neil wanted. He's like, do it. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it either.
That's actually my friend Neil from my Facebook.
Hi, Neil. Raymond, how you doing?
Oh,
hello. That's
hello.
feedback right there. Raymond from Rofo Audio, also another great band.
Oh,
If you ever
yeah?
get a chance, go check out Rofo Audio.
Okay.
Put them on the show a lot because they have some amazing stuff. They just put out a Christmas single, so you know what? Go check that out since
Yeah,
we're
I'll
in the
have to check
Christmas
it out.
season. So you know what, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always supporting the artists, the bands, the show, everything. I really do appreciate it. So come back and see us on Sunday. We'll be on at 6 o'clock. Let's see what we have for you. I'm not really sure. I haven't done the playlist yet, so we'll see what we put on for you. Everybody have a good weekend.